I want to share a couple of stories with y'all. And I think it is appropriate for what's going on here on YouTube. And these are my experiences and my experiences alone. So I want nobody thinking that I'm making this shit up. I mean, people don't think you're making shit up anyway. But anyways, the first story I want to talk about when I was in high school. I went to a predominantly black high school. And it's a well-known school in the city of Chicago. It's not well known for its academics, but nonetheless, there were kids in the school that, went to state, what do they call it? Academic decathlons. We was in the Know Your Heritage show. That kind of, used to do debates and stuff. But the media never really wanted to report on that because they didn't want to upset the image they have crafted of the black school, especially the black high school. And like any predominantly black school, you have a large number of white teachers. Some you can tell don't want to be there. Some are just holding on to retirement. Some is there to get a year or two experience. They can go move to the burbs or go to a private or Catholic school. And you got some who just openly just don't like black people and they can't hide it. Or some should have retired a long time ago, or you try to figure out how in the fuck did they ever get their degree. But it's always that white teacher, male or female, that black kids look to as a mama and daddy figure because we've been conditioned. Because at a very young age, that's all they've seen is white teachers. At a young age, they've seen the images on television and movie that somehow white is right. Now me, I come from a two-parent home. Mother and father exposed us to different things. We used to do book reports. We used to watch documentaries, to go to museums. We was in the Scouts. We volunteered. We did all the things that you would think most American families do. Matter of fact, when I eventually got a job, people started comparing my family to the Huxtables. And I used to get offended by it, but now looking back at it, that's all I knew. That's all I was around. But anyways, those kids, they used to go to school and look for mommy and daddy. They would sit up on them. They would hug them. And a lot of that shit, looking back then and looking at it now, you got that weird vibe from it. But anyways, there were some teachers that talked to certain black kids a certain way or treated them a certain way. Meaning, those of us who didn't coon and buffoon. Those of us didn't go look for somebody outside of our family, play mommy and daddy. And I understand there's some kids who have parent issues. I get it. But I don't know why our people feel that these people who didn't live in the community, who didn't pay their bills and put clothes on their back, didn't feed them, somehow they gave them this sense of respect and honor and whatnot. But when they came down to their own people, it was blatant disrespect. But it goes back to conditioning. So during my high school years, I wasn't how can I put this? I was popular, but wasn't popular at the same time. And what I mean by this, I wasn't on the basketball team. I wasn't on the football team, but I was on track. I was on student council, vice president. I was on city student council. I was on track, bowling. I used to do art projects around school, all kinds of things. So I wasn't a shy person. I think I just had a talent, did what I did, and whatever. Some people liked it, some people were jealous, some people didn't care. So I guess in my sophomore year, I was curious about drama. Because I used to think that, I could do what these people are doing. I can do it. It's not that hard. And I used to want to be a voice actor. And I know it's hard to believe, but I'm not going to do any voices. But I used to do like animated voices and stuff, And I was pretty good at it. I used to emulate teachers and stuff. So I decided to get in drama my sophomore year. And in my junior year, I really came out of my shell, so to speak. Because a lot of things that I hid, talents that I hid, and I did it. And then people from Second City noticed, and they came. And they was coming to class and doing things with us. And one day I was talking to my trig teacher. My trig, I think that was a trig. I was wrong. Anyway, I know it was a math class. And she said she was going to write a note because you had like 4 minutes to get from where you at. And you had to, and people say 4 minutes, but you're a young kid. You know, you're young, jumping up and down them stairs, running around the school. I mean, looking at it now, like, damn, how do we do that? Especially considering the age of the school. You had the new building, the old building. Old building was probably by that time, what, nearly 100-something years old. So, anyways, I walked, the bell had just rung, so I walked in maybe 5 seconds after the bell, and this guy from the Second City program couldn't have been no older than me, maybe about 3-4 years, if that. Talked to me like I was a little boy. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. First of all, I have a note. Bell just rung. 5 seconds, okay? Everybody's not in the classroom. You're not my father. Don't come at me. You are a visitor. You're not my teacher, okay? And he got nasty. I said, you know what? You come into our community and doing this for the little black kids to say that you out here giving us some culture. I said, I know what you are. His face went red. As usual, we had 2 black girls in the classroom. Harvey, you shouldn't say that. I looked at him and I said, mind your business. Because I had been watching this white dude off and on talk to the black male students like we were stupid. Or acting as if we didn't have any mothers or fathers and we haven't been exposed. So naturally, I embarrassed him. He went to a white teacher. He figured he's going to come back and get some backup. And I told the teacher what happened. He pulled me out in the hall, gave me a little spiel. He said, you apologize to him. I said, no. Because I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I said, he insulted me. I said, pull one of the classmates out, and they'll tell you exactly what I said. And I repeated everything I said verbatim and what he said. And I stood back, and he came out, and he said, damn, he didn't lie. I didn't bite my tongue. I said what I said to him. But I told my teacher, I said, you need to talk to these people. I know what they're here for. These are tax write-offs and shit. And this stuff they can go back and say on TV. We're going to the school to teach your kids about loving themselves and all that other crap. That psychobabble shit they be trying to pull on us. But the person I was pissed off the most with wasn't the white guy. It wasn't the white teacher because they played their parts. It was the 2 black female classmates that was out there, jumped up to the defense. Never mind the guy talked to me like I was a little boy, came at me nasty. Never mind that I have a note from my teacher. Never mind this guy's not a teacher. The fact remained there was a white man talking to another male, a black male, and our sisters automatically went to that response that I should have just stood down and let him say whatever he wanted. Now, I had another female classmate that checked him too when the class was over with. She said, y'all was wrong. She said, you know that man came at him wrong. But those sisters, all through high school, white person say something, they jump, they defend them. Matter of fact, to this day, I have somewhat contact with them, and they ain't changed one bit. That's probably why I keep my distance from them too. But anyways, I had an incident maybe about 6 years later. When I was still working for KFC. I was a manager at one of the suburban locations. And this black woman had worked the same set hours every day. And some of the other adults were complaining that they had things they had to do during the evening, or they wanted to be able to change their schedule. So they started complaining, and I asked the sister. I said, I said, do you have a second job? I mean, I'm just asking because we're going to have to change the schedule. You're going to at least have to switch a couple of days out to give these people the opportunity to work doing it on the day side. I can't do it. Such and such said I can work days. I said, okay, fine. I didn't say anything. But I guess the employees went back and complained to my white and Latin co-workers. So we sitting out. We met. We sitting out. We out in the lobby, and I guess she had went home, and everybody was talking about her like a dog. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, y'all do know I'm a black guy sitting here, right? But I guess they didn't care. They figured she didn't respect me. That I must obviously have some hatred towards her, which I didn't. I was disappointed that I went to the sister and asked her, can she do this me a solid, but she didn't do it. So I went back and tried to help the sister, give her one. I said, sister, the employees are complaining. You might, hey, if just do this for the next two weeks or for the next month, and I guarantee make sure you get your days back. What did the sister do? Harvey said right in front of me, and they looked at me, and I knew right then and there I was fucked. So anytime they had a conversation about employees, they got around me, they hushed up. And I went and told this, I said, you know what, you made me look like a fool. I stuck my neck out for these black employees. When I got to their location, they didn't have no new uniforms, they didn't have any raises. They was doing all the work that nobody else wanted to do. And I'm sitting like, y'all cutting my throat. And I told y'all the story about the other crew members, and they were black. But this one stood out to me because this is an older woman. I was in my early 20s. This woman was, 41, 42. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, I said, everything those older black men have said over years, I'm seeing it more and more every day, the more I get older. And I guess the point of the story I'm trying to make is that whether it be in high school, whether it be in my civilian work life, or even the military, or my personal life, some of our women, or you're going to come across some black women out here that would do everything they power to make you look less than a man, or would demean you or take sides with somebody else. And that's what's going out here on YouTube. This weekend, I got people saying, hey, Harvey, why don't you give us opinion about Tommy and the sister he has in disagreement with? I said, I ain't getting into that. I said, what I will talk about is why we allow other people outside the community constantly get into our issues. And I had and I was getting sent personal messages, some very hateful messages. And then, you have a few brothers sending me personal messages saying, hey, man, Tommy's wrong. He shouldn't did this. And I said, have y'all watched all his videos or the videos in question? And they said, no. I said, you guys might want to go back and watch both sets of videos before y'all start making y'all decision. And then I said, how do you know those wasn't bogus channels that was put up? It happened to me. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't get into it. And then some of the sisters was coming at me. We know a side jump. You're not taking any sides. We know you're on Tommy's side. I said, how do y'all know I'm not on the sister side? And I just don't want to get into it. Or how y'all know that I just think I think all of it is silly. Or that I think that I don't want to see any more brothers and sisters argue in public like this. See, there's a group of people within our community, male and female, that like seeing people fight. Especially our own people. Because we know nobody outside the community is going to come in and break it up or stop it. So that means that those people who don't give a damn, those people who want to have free reign, they want to keep doing what they're doing because they figure they can bully somebody after a while. This is why crime is running rampant in our community. This is why teen pregnancies or baby mama drama or baby daddy drama is going off in our community because the people that are out there, like myself, pointing this shit out, we know we're gonna get drowned out at some point because the number of us speaking out publicly is very low. But I can't help go back and think about some of my interactions with some of the sisters because when that sister sent me the comment when I did that video, they got flagged. I'm thinking about how she's talking about how black men do black women, but I never hear sisters talk about how they do black men. And how it starts at a young age. Now, even though I had those negative experiences with some of these black women, I've never turned my back on y'all. Never. But it seems that y'all have turned y'all back on us. Or on me. As I said before, the very first video I did out here on YouTube was calling out Bethany Starro. And you'd be surprised how many sisters don't remember that. And I'm like, y'all forget what they do to y'all, but y'all hold grudges for shit or little enough of things that nobody did to y'all when retaining the black men. I've done videos defending y'all, calling out, talking about y'all not ugly, all this shit. But yeah, I get attacked by self-hating black women. And it's usually your feminist black women or your lesbian or your color-struck black women. Or your first generation black women that live in America. Who mummies and daddies have raised them with self-hatred. Now, after all those things that I've experienced, I never turned my back on y'all. But slowly but surely, Or I think y'all want us to do this. I think y'all want us to say derogatory things. I think y'all want us to get mad so it can justify your ability to date outside the community, or justify your anger and vitriol towards black men. Now, I'm not saying all black women think this way or do this. Let me say this again. Not all black women say and do this. But that's a number in our community, a small number but vocal, that think this way. And it's scary and it's sad at the same time that our people don't realize how dangerous this can be. Now, there are young brothers and sisters that would dismiss what I'm saying as being generational, or certain factors had a part in this because they don't have the experience yet. This is why I say that we ought to be ashamed of ourselves as consumers who pay for Comcast or DirecTV or Dish Network or these corporations that we support, that when it comes time to show documentaries that we may have seen or may have heard of or may have seen clips on YouTube, they don't show them in rotation. But every week is something about the Holocaust, about World War II, about abortion, about the gay and lesbian movement, about Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, the Kennedys. But you never see the stuff about our people, because you know what? The shit that we doing today, we did it back in the 80s. We did it back in the 60s. We did it back in the 40s. And people don't want y'all to say, wait a minute, we haven't changed in this many years, or we've digressed or regressed. Black women, black men are not your enemy. And those black men that you've given your bodies to and your souls to, those are your enemies. The guys that mistreated you, but at the same time, you got to look in the mirror, look at what you said and done. Just like I had to look at what I've said and done. Some people don't like looking in the mirror and realizing that, you know, I played a part in this game. I may have said and done something to somebody, and this is my karma. But when y'all out here demeaning black men in public, or siding with men and women who have a history of doing harm to our people, it tells me more about you than it does them. It tells me more about you than it does me. When I look at this image, I see a black man being beat. And guess who I see sticking around? Now, you might see a few brothers in here. And what's up with this brother eyes right here? Is those glasses or something? Or that's just how, or that's what they did to be funny. But anyways, this is what y'all like seeing. Y'all like seeing the white man check us or attempt to check us. Y'all like that. Because there's one sister out here, I respect her, but I disagree with her at the same time. And y'all might know who I'm talking about. And this is not demeaning to her. And I'm not going to mention her name, because I don't want nobody to go starring with her, and I don't want to think I'm starring with her. But this sister openly embraced her love of white men, but at the same time, diss black men. Didn't want to be on the black nationalist or be conscious. And I'm like, isn't this kind of schizophrenic? You can't sit here 1 minute and say something and then do the opposite, then expect people to take you serious. Now, I would probably give the sister benefit of the doubt if she said not all black men. But she lumped us all in the same group. And I'm sitting there saying, what the hell? Did somebody do something when she was a kid? Did she have daddy issues or something? And the sad thing, there are women that I know do the same thing. You criticize us if we like we about to look at a white woman, or about to try to holler at her, but y'all don't say nothing about y'all female counterparts or judge y'all selves by the same high unrealistic standards. I wish to God I had to do videos like this, but maybe one day our sisters and brothers would snap out of this self-hate mode that we got ourselves in.